So my name is Kristiane. I'm the editor at Master of Malt, or Kristi, which is far easier. Next up we have a really cool distillery actually from Oxfordshire, Sky Wave Gin. So this one, World's Best Contemporary Gin, which is actually a pretty cool title to get. So in gin, there are kind of like loads of subcategories that aren't necessarily like massively legally defined. So contemporary gin is that kind of space. So London Dry Gin's got really strict rules. One of them being that you can't add anything, it has to be a distilled gin, and you can't add anything to it after distillation. Contemporary gin, loads of them will still be distilled, like this one's a distilled gin, but you can like play around with it a little bit afterwards, and it just opens the gates for so much creativity in terms of like flavour and aroma and all of this, and it's wonderful. So it's made with 13 botanicals. Most of them are a secret, but they do include things like hand-foraged blackberries, which if I think of the Oxfordshire countryside, it just seems so like quintessentially kind of English, going along by the berries, like taking them home, putting them in your still. And actually when you nose it, I don't know if it's just because I know that, but it's so aromatic and like evocative of like fresh air in the outside, and yeah, it's really rather wonderful. And it's actually, I would say, as far as contemporary gin goes, you can get all kinds of crazy exciting things, like really fun, like loads of stuff going on, and this is fun. This has definitely got its own like character to it, but it's really classically aromatic, and it doesn't stray like too far from, you know, what you'd expect in quotes gin to be like. The juniper's there, the spice there, the citrus that really kind of lifts it and brings it to life and is really lively is there. So yeah, again, if you are tasting these as well, drop us a line and let you know what you think. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's 42% ABV, and for me, I don't know, it's probably because I'm used to drinking cask strength spirits, but I do just adore it when spirits are that little bit higher. I think it just adds just an extra dimension in terms of like the body and texture. We talked a little bit about sort of texture when you're tasting a spirit earlier, but yeah, it's wonderful. I'm gonna get stuck in and have a little taste. This is gorgeous. There's a beautiful, like, this is a dry gin, right? When I say sweet here, I don't mean that I'm detecting like sugar on my palate. When I talk about the sweetness, it's all coming from the botanicals, so like sweet spices and stuff like that. In fact, it may even be like made to London Dry Gin specification, I'm not 100% sure, but that contemporary style, it's like a playful gin. It's really beautifully done, it's fabulously balanced. This would be, I kind of want a martini now, I'm not gonna lie, like I want a gin martini with this. This may be what happens like straight after this live. And just for the record, I'm not a bartender, I'm terrible at mixing drinks, but I do enjoy drinking them. So that's pretty fun. Yeah, this is really lovely. And again, I think gin is one of those categories where we've seen this enormous boom. We've seen so many people open up distilleries, and you know, maybe it's taken a little while. I'm not talking about this distillery specifically, just in general. Like, people have honed their craft, they've learned their equipment, they've got their botanical recipes like to a T now, and I feel like we're really enjoying the fruits of the category's labour all of a sudden, if that doesn't sound too weird to say. You know, it's like, you know, practice makes perfect, right? Got these artisan distillers creating these beautiful spirits, and we get to enjoy them, which is pretty awesome, I think. I feel very lucky to get to taste these spirits, and yeah, Sky Wave Gin is beautiful.